Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we're bringing you another review, and this time it's the topsy-turvy swinging platformer Yupitergrad, which is a new release for PSVR. This review is coming from our network site Pure PlayStation, and a code was provided by the publisher. Yupitergrad has a solid idea: swing around like a diesel punk Spider-Man and solve a few puzzles along the way. It's that simple, and the game doesn't pretend to say otherwise with any shallow RPG veneers or tacked on combat. This is a platformer through and through, and it's probably one of the best you'll find on PSVR or any other headset for that matter. The story is that you're a cosmonaut and you've been sent off to repair the space station. You're the only one with the skills to do it, and because this is Russia, you have no choice in the matter. You do get a tutorial first though, because it would be unkind to send anybody into space without at least a little bit of guidance. The tutorial is your first port of call, and you will want to pay attention to this class. You'll learn the basics of swinging from your plunger webs, as well as how to navigate Iron Man style with your wrist-mounted thrusters. Yes, Yupitergrad wants to be a superhero game so bad, it just doesn't get the licensing. Shame, because the swinging mechanics are really well done, even with the limitations of the PSVR and its tracking. As I mentioned during the preview, I had very little issue with the light-based tracking of the PSVR headset or the PS Move 1s, which you will need two of. I found my sweet spot, and it works well for almost all games. I must mention though that I do play PSVR games sitting on my bum. I've played many games on the Oculus Quest that allow for room scale movement, and I'm just a touch spoiled by it. I can't guarantee that in the moment of gameplay I won't forget that I'm cabled to the console, and I really don't want to pull my PS5 off of its stand and smash it onto the floor, at least not without a camera recording it. So the tracking works and the controls are good too, and although I did at times wish for sticks, and I may get this game on the Quest just for that very reason, I did find the controls to be just about good enough. The layout is very logical and well thought out. At some point during the tutorial level, for me, the controls just clicked, and I went from slowly tumbling into walls to smashing into walls at breakneck speed. I'm still working on my swinging skills. And it's hard work too. It might sound simple, but when it comes to the crunch, you will balk and die many times, just like I did. Navigating the space station isn't easy, as there are perils around every corner, with meat grinders, pits of doom, crushing blocks, spinning fans, and much more standing between you and getting the job done for Mother Russia. I died lots, and that's alright. Some deaths did feel a little bit unfair, as some sections were really difficult. But for the most part, I think the levels presented a fair challenge. Whenever I got stuck, I would sit back, observe, learn, and try again. And again, and again. Some luck is required. Sometimes though, it felt like the controls were working against me and would lead to a few unfair deaths. I would pull down on my Move 1s to fling myself forward, only to pathetically flop a short distance before getting pulverised by yet another strangely placed meat grinder. It's not all tragedy though, as the game has a fairly decent checkpoint system, so even if you do die often, and you will, you won't be losing much progress. Plus, it encourages you to really take your time and think about a section before spinning your plunger webs and going in without a second thought. Time and patience, my dears. Time and patience. The main campaign is fairly short and will only set you back a handful of hours, though going for all trophies will obviously take a little bit longer, depending on your swinging skills. To keep the swinging party going is a brand new time attack mode that gives you 20 levels to swing, boost and die through, pitting your best times against your buddies. I took top spot for all of about a single hour before my colleague Jeremy came along and posted a faster time. Will I try to beat it? Maybe. Or maybe I will just assign him the worst jobs for the next 2 months. Who is to say? Hope you like admin, Jeremy. Yupitergrad is easily the best Spider-Man VR game that we've got, even if there is an official Spider-Man game out there, but it's shite, so don't bother. Yupitergrad is not just riffing off the Marvel heroes' popularity though, it's a genuinely good game in its own right, and the story, while being ridiculous, it's full of cheeky lines and witty banter, which I'm always up for. Graphically, I've got no complaints. The game runs really smooth, though I should say I play my PSVR on PS5, and the game looks really good too. It's got a Borderlands cartoony comic book style to it, and that's the kind of art style perfectly suited to PSVR. The headset handles the visuals superbly, delivering a really nice sharp picture that defies the headset's lower resolution. Yupitergrad is good fun for a few hours, but I'm not sure it's got the legs, or arms, to sustain into the double digits. The campaign is on the short side and the time attack challenges are a one and done affair, unless you're bothered about where you sit in the leaderboards. Still, it will be a game that I will definitely remember, because whenever I hear the question, and I hear this a lot, is there a Spider-Man VR game? I will direct the asker of the question straight to Yupitergrad. And that is the end of this video, and the final score will come after this brief outro. If you enjoyed this game review, do us a solid and hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, as well as the bell icon, so that way you get notified whenever we have new stuff for you to watch. Head on down below for our social channels, website links, and our supporters page, where you can support our lovely team if you can. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, bye bye.